Okay, now this time we are starting the physiology of tracts. In the last lecture we have learned regarding physiology of spinal cord. Just to revise, tracts is nothing but highways of nerve impulse conduction. Those who are carrying information of sensations from spinal cord to up, they are called as ascending or sensory tracts. Those who are carrying the information regarding the motor activity from the higher centers to down, they are called as descending tracts. And we are naming the tracts based on position in the white column, origin and its termination. Now to start with, we'll study the first tract. Now see, this is piece of spinal cord. We have taken the LS of spinal cord. This is the medulla oblongata. It is a part of a brainstem. Now this is our cortex and the remaining part of brainstem. This sensory nerve arising from the part of skin and going to the spinal cord, we label as a sensory nerve. Now if you just recall, there is a sensory relay neuron in the spinal cord, in the gray matter. Now from here our ascending tracts are arising. Now from this neuron from this nerve cell body, axon is arising. See, it is immediately crossing to opposite side in the same segment of spinal cord and ascending up. Okay, medulla oblongata going up to thalamus. Okay, so and there is a synapse here now. So this is called as a first order neuron. Sensory nerve arising from the receptor, ending in the spinal cord, making a synapse with sensory relay neuron. From here axon is arising and going immediately to the opposite side, traveling in the, you can see lateral side of the medulla oblongata going up to the thalamus. Similarly, one more neuron is there arising, sensory relay neuron. Okay. Now this tract is arising and going anteriorly, it is going up to the thalamus. From there now, fibers are arising and they are going to the sensory cortex. Now this tract is called as spinothalamic tract. Okay. This is located laterally, so it is called as a lateral spinothalamic tract. This is anterior, called as anterior spinothalamic tract. And from thalamus now, again fibers are going to the sensory cortex. So now it is arising from the one side, crossing to opposite side immediately and going up to the thalamus. Then from thalamus it is going to the sensory cortex. So this tract is called as spinothalamic tract. There are again two. One located anteriorly called as anterior spinothalamic tract. One located laterally, so it is called as lateral spinothalamic tract. Now this is very important concept. From thalamus, fibers are going to the cortex. Now in the cortex, you can see here I have shown the piece of sensory cortex, and you can see all the parts of the body are written out here. You can see genitalia, toes, foot, leg, everything is written here. Now but you will see the difference now. See the proportion. This is the finger area. These fingers are there. Little finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger. See the lips area. Big area is there. Elbow. And see the whole remaining body now. So this is called as small man, which is called as homunculus. And as it is receiving the sensation, it is called as sensory homunculus. So whole body is being represented there in the cortex. But the difference is that it is in proportion with the specialty of function. So this part of the body are having very skillful activity. Okay, lips, fingers. So they are having a major presentation here. And this part of the body, you can see a trunk, back. Even if it is very big, but area given is very small. You can trunk area, hip area, leg area. So the part of the body which is performing a crude action is having a small area, and part of the body which is having a fine action is having a big area. So this is called as sensory homunculus. So whole body presentation is there. So all the fibers which are arising from thalamus, they are going to the respective areas at the destinations. And you can see the foot area and the intestinal area. So this is the basically whole body presentation in the cortex. So this is called as sensory homunculus. It is called as sensory homunculus. This is the book diagram from your book. You can see same thing I have mentioned. Nerve arising, second order neuron arising immediately, going up to the thalamus. From here it is going to the cortex. Now this will be going to the different part. Means, for example, if it is arising from the lower limb, it will go to the lower limb area. If it is arising from the upper limb, it will go to the upper limb area. If it is arising from the thumb, it is going to thumb area. So like this, whole body presentation is there in the cortex. So it is called as sensory homunculus. So this is the spinothalamic tract. Now functions: lateral spinothalamic tract, it carries sensation of pain and temperature. Anterior spinothalamic tract, it carries sensation of crude touch, pressure, tickle and itch. So now this spinothalamic tract, so this is the area of brainstem where you can see a meshwork is available. A bunch of neurons are scattered like a meshwork. It is called as reticular formation. It is called as reticular formation. Now this our spinothalamic tract, sensory nerve. This is second order neuron, that is sensorial neuron. From here it is going to thalamus. So while going up, it is giving some branches to this reticular formation. Okay. The spinothalamic tract while going up is giving some branch to reticular formation, and from here it is going to whole cortex. Now according to some author, this is called as spino-reticular tract. Okay, it is called as ascending reticular activating sending. Why? Because it is ascending, it is activating the reticulum system. So some author says this is as a spino-reticular tract. Okay, means it is spinothalamic tract. While going up, it is giving some branches to reticular formation, and from here it is going to thalamus and it is activating whole of the cortex. So its function is basically to activate the cortex. And in the theory of sleep and wakefulness, this is one of the important theory, that we are awake because of this system. We are awake because of ascending reticular activating system. Constantly during the day, impulses are coming and it is exciting the cortex. That's why we are awake. So this tract is also called as spino-reticular tract. Now, this second tract, this is our spinal cord, medulla oblongata. Now you can see in this, it is arising from the sensor, the receptor, going without any synapse. It is going straightly up to the medulla oblongata. Okay, see there is no crossing and no synapse also. Nerve is arising and nerve is going up to the medulla oblongata. It is ending in some nuclei here. This nucleus is called as nucleus gracilis. Now this bundle or fiber or tract is called as fasciculus gracilis. As it is ending in nucleus gracilis, bunch of fiber is called as fasciculus gracilis. And this is coming from lower part of the body. You know gracilis muscle. So it is lower limb. So this is collecting information from the lower part of the body. Now similarly in the upper part of the body, similarly same nerve is coming like this. Without synapse it is going up to one nucleus called as nucleus cuneatus. Okay, and this bundle is called as fasciculus cuneatus. Is it clear? So this tract arising from the skin without crossing, going on same side and without any synapse, going up to the medulla, where they are now synapsing with two nucleus, nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus. Now from here, fibers are arising. Now they are crossing to opposite side and going up to thalamus. Okay. Now from thalamus they are going to whole cortex, just like in our spinothalamic tract. from whichever part of the body it is coming. Suppose it is lower part of the body, it will go to the lower part of the body system in the sensory homunculus. Okay. Now, similarly, from nucleus cuneatus, it is arising and going to the thalamus. From here, it will go again. Okay. Now, this bundle is called as medial lemniscus, located medially, and bunch of fibers at the brainstem, they are called as lemniscus. If you recall, I have already told, everywhere it is bunch of axons. Outside spinal cord, they are called as nerve. Inside it is called as a tract or fasciculus. Above it is called as lemniscus. Above it is called as a radiation. So it is nothing but a neuron with its axon. Now this tract is called as dorsal column tract, as it is going dorsally in the spinal cord. Okay, is it clear? So this is the dorsal column tract arising from the skin, going on the same side without any synapse up to the medulla oblongata. Now here it is synapsing with nucleus gracilis, nucleus cuneatus, crossing to opposite side and going up to thalamus, from there to the cortex. Now you can see in both this tract are crossed, but level of crossing is different. That means right side of the body, impulse is going to the left cortex. Okay, but level of crossing in the spinothalamic tract is same level. In dorsal column tract, it is uncrossed in the spinal cord, crossed above the medulla oblongata. So here again, same sensory homunculus is there. All the fibers will go to the respective regions. Okay, from whichever part they are arising. Suppose the fibers are arising from the lips, they will go to the lips area. If it is arising from the pharynx, they will go to the pharynx area. So same sensory homunculus is there here also in the dorsal column tract. Okay, so this is dorsal column tract of your textbook Guyton. You can see I have shown here fibers are arising, going uncrossed, unsynapsed. Now from here they are synapsing and going to opposite side up to thalamus. From here they are going. Nucleus gracilis, nucleus cuneatus, fasciculus gracilis, fasciculus cuneatus. Okay. Now this dorsal column tract functions. This is also called as medial lemniscus system. As I have shown you there, the crossed fibers are called as lemniscus. It is also called as posterior column tract, also called as fasciculus gracilis, fasciculus cuneatus. Function is basically a touch, that is fine touch. Now touch with a force is called as a pressure. Combination of touch and pressure is called as stereognosis. Alternate touch is called as a vibration, and proprioception, that is body position. So these are the functions of dorsal column tract. Okay, so this is our dorsal column tract I have shown here. It is coming, going up to the medulla oblongata uncrossed. Now from here it is crossed. That is called as sensory decussation. Crossing to opposite side means from right part of the body it is going to the left side, and from left it is going to the right side. Okay, this is our book diagram. Now one more thing in the dorsal column tract. This dorsal column tract, while going up, it is giving some branches to cerebellum. Okay, so this is the dorsal column tract. You can see it is arising in the medulla oblongata, crossing to opposite side. Now some fibers are going to cerebellum. Okay. Now according to some author, this is a separate tract and it is called as spinocerebellar tract. Okay. According to some, it is a dorsal column giving a branch to cerebellum, and according to some author, it is separate spinocerebellar tract. Okay. Just like in case of spinothalamic tract, we have labeled a separate tract called as spinoreticular tract. So ascending sensory tract, mainly there are two, spinothalamic tract and dorsal column tract. But according to some author, in the spinothalamic tract, they have made a separate, that is spinoreticular tract, which is again nothing but branches coming from spinothalamic tract, and in the dorsal column separate, that is spinocerebellar tract. So like this, if we classify, there are the four ascending tract: spinothalamic, spinoreticular, dorsal column, and spinocerebellar tract. Okay, this is the diagram given in books. Now the sensation you can see of touch, it is going and crossing to opposite side. This is spinothalamic tract. So here we are finishing the ascending tracts, which are carrying sensation from whole body. Spinothalamic tract is carrying sensation of pain, temperature and crude touch. Dorsal column tract is carrying the sensation of touch. And spinoreticular tract, if you consider separately, it is mainly helping in the activation of the cortex. Its main function is ARAS. It is called as ascending reticular activating system. It will activate the cortex and make the person awake. And the spinocerebellar tract is basically carrying sensation of proprioception. We'll be learning during our physiology of cerebellum. It is best for the body position. Okay. Now here these are again all nerves which are coming from the body. Thank you.